Shalom, giving all praises, excuse me, to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem HaKadosh. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to all. We almost out this bitch. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, make this super quick, see where the spirit takes me. I'm going to entitle this video, That's the Spirit or the Angel of King Masha. That's the Spirit, Angel of King Masha. Now, I don't know if that's Masha, but when I first saw this video, I was looking into this, looking dead on to this individual right here. And you notice this is gold. I was thinking about the Maccabees, the two men in gold that beat the hell out of, what's his name? I forget his name. Somebody help me out. He robbed the treasury for Antiochus Epiphanes' uncle, and the two angels came down in gold and beat the shit out of him. I forget his name, but it's mentioned in he's mentioned in Daniel chapter 11, and he's also mentioned in the books of the Maccabees. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Oh, and the reason why I gave this entitled is the spirit of that's the spirit of King Masha. That's the spirit of the angel of King Masha. Because I thought about that, but I said I'm not going to say nothing. In my mind, I said I'm going to wait to see what others have said, whether Gabar said something about it, noticed it, or Apostle Rhymelop, or any of the bishops. And lo and behold, the first thing that popped up in my notifications was this comment: he favors King Masha, definitely a presence about him, no doubt about it. Now, we had met what we believe was an angel when we set up. I believe that was the first time, could have been the second time. We set up camp right in front of the old One West School, which is like is it a furniture place or a business office? But we set up right smack in front of the school. And like I'm almost positive it was the second time we went out there. Because I think the other brothers came out there with us in Harlem. And there was an individual that came up. And he had like chips and stuff. You know, he was offering it to us. And the first thing that he said was, oh, I just saw some chariots fly by. And that's what we said. We don't say UFOs and nothing like that. We say chariots. He said something to the effect, I just saw a fleet of chariots fly by. So I said, wow, chariot, using the word chariot. So he's with us talking. And I said, there's something different about this guy. A little off. Like if you couldn't see it on it, if anybody has the video, I think Apostle Gabar might have it still, unless they took down the site. But the thing about him was one eye was going one way, the other eye was going another way. But you couldn't catch it on video. And after a while, we started kind of whispering, this guy got to be an angel, got to be an angel. And when we would say that, he would kind of smile because he would hear us, even though we were whispering. And I remember he was out there for about maybe 2 hours or something, like 2 hours and change in. And I believe I whispered in the ear of Apostle Rhymelop, and I said Hebrews 13:1. I believe it's Hebrews 13:1 and 2. um, you know, entertaining angels unawares. So I quoted this. I mentioned the scripture, but I whispered, and when I whispered Hebrews 13:1 or Hebrews 13:1 and 2, he quoted the scripture, and he smiled. So I said, "That's an that's an angel," and he left. We left, and we never saw the guy again. And he was just as dark as this individual right here. And like I said, when I saw this, I saw that looked like Mo. And the turban, he wore the turban the way Mo wore his. We call him Mo. Right, said in front of him, Mo. Because we knew him. We were friends with King Masha. I knew his whole family. I knew where I could tell all these guys. Oh, I know Mo. I said, okay, where did Mo live in the Bronx? I could tell you exactly where he lived in the Bronx. When he moved to Manhattan, down there with the hoi polloi. And I can tell you exactly. I can take you exactly to where he lived there. I can give you the floor, the apartment, and all that. Okay, I knew his wife and his children and his grandchildren. Well, some of his grandchildren, the grandsons from his daughter, and grandsons from his son, one of his sons. But when I looked, I said that's Masha. That's Masha. It was Masha's angel. But anyway, he favors King Masha. Definitely a presence about him, no doubt about it. So this is what I was waiting for, somebody else to say it before I said it. And see, I myself knew Masha personally. High Priest Ariel, I go to High Priest Ariel's house uninvited, banging on his door. What's up, man? Especially if he hit the numbers. I was like, when I heard he hit the numbers, I kind of chased him down to get some money. Hey, look, I need And back then, when we had money, it became the money. You look out for the brotherhood, man. Wow, there's a lot of. This is a lot of comments. These things are spiritually discerned. And it's spiritual, and you can see that it's an angel because y'all didn't know that this man was behind y'all. You know? Maybe if you look behind, you probably see it was a man, and then you realize stuff after the fact. But he was above y'all. He kept looking. He had a stoic look on his face. And when I first came in, when I first met King Masha, I was in the class and he would sit on the side. He would just look at me, and I'm like, why is this guy looking at me like? Well, I knew it was Mo, and he'd give me this look like he wanted to kill me. But then he would get up and he came over to me and he introduced himself, and he found out I was in the martial arts, so he really took to me. Oh, you're a martial artist? Yeah. Well, that's all right. And he used to tell me, King Masha used to tell me, you got a heavy spirit on you. You got a heavy spirit on you. And even High Priest Ariel said that. He said, he pulled me to the side, and he said, you're a spiritual man. This is what the High Priest Ariel said. He said, you know how I know you're a spiritual man? Because I'm a spiritual man. But this looked like Mo. And that thing where he put his head in the finger, that's something that Mo would do too. Sometimes he'd give you the finger, point the finger at you, you know? But like I said, I noticed the gold. And he got the white beard, very stoic looking, austere. And he had to look like you don't want to get into a fight with this guy because it would just rip you apart. There was another incident where there was this brother that he had to be an angel too, and he used to just come around us. I mean, the guy was like perfectly, but you can see that, the thing about an angel, there's an air about him that you don't want to get into a fight with this guy. I don't want to fight that guy. He gonna F me up. But there was he was a young guy, and we had Lahab, High Priest Lahab had thrown like a get together. He called it the Karate Show, Fashion Show, Disco. He had sold tickets and stuff. And so I was part of the security, and then, I made sure people gave the ticket. And I remember there was an Edomite couple that came, and the brothers was up, I was downstairs, and the brothers wouldn't let the Edomites in. So they said, there's these Edomites. So I came up, and I said, yeah, can I help you? And they said, we got tickets for this event. So I said, oh, if you got tickets, then welcome, you can come right in. And I didn't think anything of it because they had the tickets. Now, they could have been Jakes, but they looked like Edomites. So them brothers didn't know how to handle that. But the individual that I said that was an angel, they used to always come in when we used to practice martial arts. He would just pop up and be, how do you know we was there practicing martial arts? I'll tell you where we was practicing martial arts, at Gawap Shamar's house, which that's a famous house. I'm pretty sure all of y'all saw the movie New Jack City. Remember the crack house? That building, that's an actual building in Harlem. What is that, 116th Street? That's a big building. That's the same building that Gawap Shamar used to live in when we used to practice martial arts in the hallway. And this angel, what I think it was, he just popped up out of nowhere, and he was just watching us practicing martial art. And he had a stoic look on his face. But anyway, coming back to the Karate Show, Fashion Show, Disco, somehow he popped up, and he was sitting in the seats. So I remember it was General Yohana. General Yohana kind of came to me and said, look, this dude, I think this guy snuck in, right? So it was myself, General Yohana, and a couple other brothers. And we said, look, man, if you ain't got a ticket, you got to leave. And he gave us this look like, don't fuck with me, man, because it's going to end up bad. So in the spirit, I said, this guy's got to be an angel. So I told Yohana Bar, I said, look, leave him alone. I said, no, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Let him sit there. He's good. And then we just let him sit there, man. Because he done popped up more than, I would say, 4 or 5 different times. He used to just pop up out of nowhere. And he would smile, but he had a stoic smile. He had like somebody's about to chop your damn head off smile, like I'm getting the pleasure. And like Han and Enter the Dragon with when Lee fought O'Hara. Han had that smile on his face like this. O'Hara's gonna fuck Lee up, but wound up killing the guy, right? So he had that kind of look. But and I have ran into what I believe is angels, but it's when you least expect it, right? You might see a guy come up and talking to you. This is a regular person to you, and you after you leave, you say, "Man, that guy could have been an angel," Your High Priest Shai used to say that it was an encounter of an angel that came into the school, and he would describe him, and he said that he had the look of, you don't want to get into a fight with this guy because it's going to end badly. So I agree with the young elder. I call him a young elder because he's younger than me out there in the West. Um, Mawatazak, Elder Mawatazak. He came out. I met him. He came to the crib. I remember telling him he was a Gad. I said, "You a Gadite?" He said, "I'm not no Gadite. I'm a Judite." I said, "You a Gadite, Doc?" And he got mad at me, looking at me. "Man, I'm a Judite, Doc. What you talking? I'm a Judite." I said, "Look, Doc, you're a Gadite." Well, guess what? He's a Gadite now. I told Apostle Ricard, he used to say he was a Gadite. I said, "Nah, you ain't no Gadite. You're a Reubenite." So, I'm a Gadite, man. I'm a Gadite. My father's Gad from Florida, from Oklahoma. The Reubenites are from Florida. I said, you're a Reubenite. Then the next week, he didn't say nothing. We used to do the reading. We used to go into the Torah every week. And everybody that was in the school, man, that was 6 months, they had to do it. So we had to Sabbath down packed to a science. And about a week or two later, Apostle Ricard came up. He didn't tell me that he knew he was a Reubenite, but he said, "Ricard bun Rob mine." Then we started laughing. I said, "I told you he was a Reubenite." He did some history and he found out that the Reubenites, the Trail of Tears to Oklahoma, because his father's side is from Oklahoma, but they originally from Florida, they were Reubenites, you know. So anyway, that's a little history. But let me get this here. Let me get this here. I hadn't gone through this in a while. Okay. But this let me do it this way. Thank the Most High for these tools, the blue letter, and other tools. I'll modify it. We were helping with a little help. The blue letter, these various tools are helps. Give me a second here. Now there's a precept, I believe it's second Maccabees chapter 10, if I'm not mistaken. Hadn't gone through it in a while, where the angels actually came down and stood side by side to protect Judas Maccabees. Oh, this is a good one. Whereupon Jeremiah, holding forth his right hand, gave to Judas a sword of gold, and giving it, spake thus. Now this is a dream. Let me go to the context. You really want to read the whole chapter. This done in like manner, there appeared a man with gray hairs. Gray hairs, also white hairs. The angel that you saw, that we believe is an angel, you can see that he had gray hairs or white hairs. An exceeding glorious, who was of a wonderful and excellent majesty. Then Onias answered, saying, This is a lover of the brethren, who prayeth much for the people and for the holy city, to wit, Jeremiah, the prophet of the Most High. Whereupon Jeremiah, holding forth his right hand, gave to Judas a sword of gold, and in giving it spake thus, Take this holy sword, a gift from the Most High, with the which thou shalt wound the adversary. You know what I got to do? I got to open this whole chapter up. This goes into Nicanor celebration. It's going to Nicanor and Simon and Judas. Okay, let me see something. I want to get the point to show you that this was a dream. Let me do this. It's either dream or a vision. Okay. Thus he armed every one of them, not so much with defense of shield and spears as with comfortable and good words. And besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. So it was a dream. And let me do this. Let me go to 2 Maccabees 10. And therewithal the Idumeans having gotten into their hands commodities. So that's Edom, fighting against Edom. Okay, it says, I'm going to start here. But when he drew near, they that were with Maccabeus turned themselves to pray unto the Most High, and sprinkled earth upon their heads, and girded their loins with sackcloth. See, we could wear sackcloth, Revelation chapter 11. And fell down at the foot of the altar, and brought him to be merciful to the them, enjoy the enemies. I want to go to the point. So after the prayer, they took weapons. It says 28 verses. See what that says. Now the sun being newly risen. Oh, newly. That means it was the Most High made a new sun. Newly risen is the same old sun that's come back, and it looks like it's new. They joined both together, the one part having together with the virtue or the pledge of their success, victory, ways of battle, leader. Okay, I think I might have it. It says, but when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men. Upon these men were angels upon horses with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Israelites or the Jews, and took Maccabeus betwixt them and covered him on every side. These are angels, weapons, and kept him safe, and shot arrows and lightning against the enemies. The lightning is the laser technology, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. So the angels got, you can't tell me that Maccabeus was not a man of the Most High. The Most High set up Judas Maccabees because he sent down angels to protect them. And there was slain of footmen 20,000 and 500 and 600 and 600 horsemen. Now, this 31st verse, second Maccabees 10 and 31, it says, and there were slain, these were Edomites, of footmen 20,000 and 500 and 506, 20,000 and 500 and 600 horsemen. That was the Romans. The legion was based upon how Esau set up their troops. They had legions. Legions go back to the Edomites. The legion would be almost 7,000 men, about 500-600 of them on horses. The rest of them were foot soldiers. So it said here, footmen. But it says 20,000. But like I said, Esau, during the time of the Roman Empire, that's how the legion was set up. And by the way, the demon was named Legion. So that demon named Legion that said, my name is Legion, for we are many, that dude had almost 7,000 demons on him. Because a demon means, it's a little less, it's about 6,700 or something like that. But 700 of them, 600 to 700 of them were horsemen. The rest of them were foot soldiers. That's a legion. It started from Esau. Third verse. But they that were with Maccabees laid siege against the fortress courageously for 4 days. So they didn't kill all the Edomites in a second Maccabees 5. Now let me see something. There's give you another account. Do it this way. Okay, I don't know why I put. It was either first Maccabees 9 or second Maccabees 9 or second Maccabees 5 or first Maccabees 5. I knew it was one of them. Second Maccabees 5 and 2. Let me go to the chapter. About the same time, Antiochus, which is Antiochus Epiphanes, that wicked root, prepared his second voyage into Egypt. And then it happened that through the city, for the space of almost 40 days, give me a second. "40 days, they were seen horsemen running in the air in clothes of gold and armed." Now, the angel that you see in the video, the man had a gold vesture on and armed with lances like a band of soldiers and troops of horsemen in array, and encountering and running one against another with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes and drawing of swords and casting of darts and glittering of golden ornaments and harnesses of all sorts. Now you can, and today's understanding that would be war games, because the angels wasn't killing each other. Wherefore every man prayed that apparition, another word for apparition is ghost, might turn to good. Because these military men, they were scared. It was like, what the hell is going on? And that's going to happen in second Ezra 13, when the Lord come back. All eyes are going to see him. Revelation chapter 12, Daniel 12. Most High getting ready to take this man out. And you can't, the way this man's going to go down, You can't compare it to anything in history, any event in history. It says, now when there was going forth a false rumor, as though Antiochus had been dead, Jason took at least 1,000 men and suddenly made an assault upon the city. Yeah, when you that's war strategy. When you see that some important person is dead or get killed, that ups your spirit. Oh, we almost got him. We got a key person. But I mean, you can read the rest of this chapter. And when the Maccabees, when they got rid of them Edomites, they would put them in they would be in towers, and they would burn the towers and burn them alive. They had complete. Now wait a minute, was Judas Maccabees going off when they were killing Edomites? That's hate. So any Israelite saying born out of Edomite, the Most High is not dealing with that guy. You're supposed to hate an Edomite. But you can't do nothing. It said, but be angry, but sin not. Let not the sun go down upon thy wrath. Because if you're not stable, you wind up killing the Edomite. The Edomite won't kill this motherfucker. Then you're gonna tell the court, well, I was supposed to kill Edomites. You're gonna get locked up. For good. Anyway, let me do this. Let me come back over here. This is also in the Maccabees. Okay, so I read that about the dream that he saw Jeremiah give Judas Maccabees a golden sword. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me open this up. I might want to go to the first verse. Let me open it up. Bear with me for a minute. Third verse, and to make a gain of the temple as of other chapels of the heathen, and set the high priesthood to sell every year, not at all power, puffed up feet. So he came to Judea and drew near to Bethshua, which was a strong town. Now, when they that were with Maccabees heard that he besieged the holes, they and all the people with lamentation and tears besought Yahweh that he would send a good angel to deliver Israel. The Maccabees himself first of all took weapons, exhorting the others to help him. And as they were at Jerusalem, there appeared before them on horseback one in white clothing, shaking his armor of gold, That's another encounter. The angels was helping the Maccabees. I hate that when you can't find anything. Okay, I found it. I found it. Second Maccabees 3, verse 25. For there appeared, let me go to the context. Nevertheless, Heliodorus, that was his name, executed that which was decreed. This was, he was under Antiochus Epiphanes' uncle, because his uncle was the king, and then Antiochus Epiphanes became the king after his uncle from the Seleucid dynasty. So at that time, I believe that was when Antiochus Epiphanes was captured under the Romans, which were sons of Japhet, and they held him for ransom. It says now, as he was there, present himself with his guard, talking about Heliodorus, about the treasury the, the Lord of spirits, or Yahweh spirits, and the Prince of all power caused a great apparition, a spirit, that came in the form of men, so that all that presumed to come in with him were astonished at the power of the Most High, and fainted, and were sore afraid. They were sore afraid, yet durst fight. Second Ezra 13. For there appeared unto them an horse with a terrible rider upon it, and adorned with a very fair covering, and he ran fiercely and smote at Heliodorus with his 4 feet. And it seemed that he that sat upon the horse had complete harness of gold. Moreover, 2 other young men, which were angels, came down in the form of men, appeared before him, notable in strength, excellent in beauty, and comely in apparel, and stood by him on either side, and scourged him continually, and gave him many sore stripes. There's a saying, beat him to an inch of his life. Man, if they would have hit your ass one more time, that would have killed, that would have been the death blow. So that's 26th verse. We come down to 26th verse. So there's many examples of angels and throughout the scriptures. And Heliodorus fell suddenly upon the ground and compassed with great darkness. But they that were with him took him up and put him into a litter. Thus him that lately came with a great train and with all his guard into this said treasury. His guard, the military, wouldn't help him. They see these brothers, these angels. They said, we ain't messing with them. When they saw the apparitions in the sky, they hoped that it would be turned into good. It said they cried out, being unable to help himself with his weapons, and manifestly they acknowledged the power of the Most High. He said, "That's God. That's the Most High doing that. The Most High sent these beings down. For he, by the hand of the Most High, was cast down and lay speechless, without all hope of life." And when we beat these devils' asses, they ain't gonna say nothing. What? You better shut your motherfucking mouth, bitch. Hey, brother, we gonna fuck these devils up when the time comes. Key phrase, when the time comes. But they praise Yahweh and that's what you're supposed to be doing, Bishop Nate. For the Most High sent some angels down to fuck you up. Playing with the Most High's name, thinking that it's a joke. They had mercilessly honored his own place, for the temple, which a little afore was full of fear and trouble, when the Almighty Lord appeared, was filled with joy and gladness. So now let me do this. You can read the rest of this. Let me read this 32nd verse. So the high priest, suspecting lest the king should misconceive that some treachery had been done to Heliodorus by the Jews, offered a sacrifice for the health of the man. In other words, the priest was being smart, you know? I'm not going to read the rest, but let me take this word, Heliodorus. Heliodorus is famous for getting his ass whipped by the angels. So let me look up the word Heliodorus. Okay, it says here Heliodorus. Heliodorus was a chancellor of Seleucus the fourth Philippator. This was the uncle of Antiochus Epiphanes. During his tenure, he is recorded as being involved with an attempt to tax the temple and Jerusalem, and I'm not going to say Jewish, I'm going to say Israelite histories of the period. Around 175 BCE, Seleucus IV died. Some historical sources say that Heliodorus assassinated Seleucus. Let me see something. Let me do this. Okay, you know what? Let me open this up. Come on now. Okay, now they're saying that the angels didn't come down looking like Bati boys. Look at this. That's why this devil gonna get fucked up. And that's supposed to be that devil Heliodorus. The angels didn't come down there looking like they jumped off a float some goddamn where. Motherfuckers. You can hardly see this one. Trying to get a better picture. Wherein the heathen sought to paint their images. So angels are around us. Let me try this. Heliodorus. Jewish Encyclopedia. Heliodorus forced his way into the temple. There he was stopped by the apparition of horsemen charging upon him, while two young men scourged him pitilessly, with no pity. Heliodorus was carried out of the temple insensible, and only by the offering of the high priest was he restored to consciousness. They beat the shit out of him. Because sometimes angels don't kill you, they'll just beat the shit out you to send a message. Heliodorus therefore left the treasures untouched and returned to Seleucus, which was the uncle of Antiochus Epiphanes, with an account of his experience, questioned by him as to who he should next send to Jerusalem for the treasury. Heliodorus advised him to send his worst enemy, the enemy whose destruction he must desire. And he's also mentioned in Daniel chapter 11. Anyway, I went a little long, but if that's not an angel, if that's not an angel, and like I said, he looked like Masha, but Masha was a lot younger. See, when I came in, Masha was a lot younger. He had to be maybe in his 50s. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say Shalom.